Today ended at 17:09, 1 minute late. 1 minute is enough to change everything. The moment class ended, I didn't even think. I moved, fast, not running, never running, but fast enough that the hallway blurred at the edges. If I was quick enough, the staircase would still be thin, manageable, survivable. When I reached it, I felt a brief surge of relief, almost empty. Just a few scattered students, descending lazily. Good, perfect. This was the narrow window I needed. But that relief never lasts. It never does. Because in this building, dismissal doesn't happen all at once. It cascades. Floor by floor, class by class, like a delayed flood. I started going down quickly. 6th floor, clear. Between 6 and 5, I could already hear doors opening above. The sound spread downward like a warning. Then I hit the 5th floor, and the flood arrived. A wall of students poured in from the corridor, merging into the staircase at the exact moment I reached that landing. For a second, I was trapped in the middle of it. Pressed forward, pressed sideways, forced into their rhythm. If she was behind that wave, I wouldn't see her. And worse, she wouldn't need to see me clearly. Just being close would be enough. So I did something reckless. I pushed, harder than I ever do. Apologizing under my breath, slipping through gaps, forcing my way down step by step. It must have looked desperate. It was. And then something strange happened. The crowd behind me thickened. Not in front, behind. A massive stream from the upper floors finally reached the stairs and clogged the space above the 5th floor landing. Suddenly, the flow shifted. They became a barrier. A moving wall of bodies between me and whatever was coming down from above. For the first time all day, I felt a thin layer of safety. Temporary, fragile, but real. I used it, every second of it. I descended as fast as I could without turning it into a run. 4 floors, 3 floors, 2. My heartbeat was so loud, I could barely hear anything else, except footsteps. Somewhere above the noise. Steady, not rushed, not delayed, just consistent. I didn't look back. Looking back wastes time, and time is the only thing that matters after 5:10. I pushed through the exit and stepped outside. Cold air hit my face. Freedom, almost. And then I saw it. The traffic light red. Of course it was red. It is always red. I checked the timer on my phone out of habit. 3 minutes. Again. 3 minutes standing in the open. 3 minutes in a place with no cover. No crowd shield. No corners to hide behind. Just a straight line between the school gate and the crossing. Behind me, the school doors kept opening. Students continued to spill out in waves. Every few seconds, I could hear new footsteps approaching the crosswalk. Each one made my shoulders tense, because once she exits the building, this is the path. 80% overlap. Almost inevitable. The seconds moved strangely slowly. 1 minute felt stretched. 2 minutes felt unbearable. By the 2nd minute, I stopped checking the timer. It only made things worse. I kept staring at the red light. It didn't flicker. It didn't malfunction. It just stayed red, unchanging, unreasonable. A thought slipped into my mind that I couldn't shake. Why is it always red when I arrive? Cars passed normally. Other signals changed normally. Only this one seemed to hold. As if it preferred me standing still, exposed, waiting. Footsteps gathered behind me. More voices, more bags shifting, more presence. The crowd from the building was catching up. If she was in that flow, then every second of red was lethal. I didn't turn around. I refused to, because turning around would confirm something I wasn't ready to confirm. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. My hands were cold. My breathing was shallow. The air felt heavier the longer I stood there. Then, without warning, green, instant, abrupt, almost impatient. I crossed immediately, not fast enough to look suspicious, not slow enough to be vulnerable, just controlled urgency. Halfway across the road, I made the mistake of glancing at the reflective glass of a parked car. For a split second, I saw the crowd behind me in the reflection. Dozens of students, moving, flowing, descending from the school gate. And near the back of that reflection, a figure that wasn't moving at the same pace as the others. I looked away instantly, kept walking. Didn't stop until the station entrance came into view. Because once you pass that crossing, the danger drops sharply. Not gone, but diluted, distant. Today was close. Closer than it should have been. The staircase almost trapped me. The crowd almost slowed me. But the real danger wasn't inside the building. It never is anymore. It's that crossing. That quiet, ordinary red light that always lasts too long. Always 3 minutes. Always when I can least afford it. One side of the road feels like escape. The other feels like exposure. Like a thin line between safety and something else entirely. And lately, it feels less like a coincidence and more like a test.